What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Miguel. You're watching Miguel EDC, the channel where we talk everything EDC gear here. Today I have a big package to share with you all. I believe this company reached out to me and they wanted me to check out these knives and of course share them with you guys. If it is what I think it is, it's going to be a real treat. So you guys sit back, relax. You're really going to enjoy this video. Of course, I'm going to give you my raw first impressions of the knife and products in here. Doing the honors today, and I'm currently carrying the American Blade Works model. I believe this is model 1 in titanium, right? Which looks really nice here. Really digging it. Mill titanium with fat carbon fiber, Magna Cut. It is the real deal. And of course, this knife and every other knife that you see in this video will be linked down below in the description and also in the pinned comments. So in case you want to check them out, it is completely up to you. Prices, variants, availability, all that will be pinned down there. It does help out the channel when you use those links, but that is entirely up to you. Now, I could just pull on this to open, but hey, we're not guys, right? Let's open a package here with a knife, because that's what we do. So here we go. We got two models, right, sent in to us. All right, we're going to be checking out both here in just a moment. And here is the instructions, or I guess the product description. All right, these are in Amazon and will be linked in the description accordingly. They're part of the JIN knife, and I believe I get to assemble these myself just like the last time. So if you haven't seen that video where you get to assemble your own EDC knife, right, this one is pretty similar. This is the Chubbee, I believe. Got a yellow color, black color on here. That's pretty neat. All right, let's see, which one do we do next? I believe let's start with this one, right? I believe the idea here is you get a chance to build a knife, but not only you get to build a knife, you get to build it with you know, your younger kid, upcoming teenager, what have you. Want to teach them about safety with knives and all that good stuff. And it just makes for a fun gift idea as well, right? Typically we buy knives that are already pre-assembled or just already assembled for us. But here we're going to be building our own. So JIN, build your own knife. This may have sharp edges, right? Mishandling, improper, negligent use. Okay, we're good. All right, let's go ahead and open it up. And well, bam, here we are, right? This is a black G10 model once again. And I'm assuming this one has yellow G10. But this is a small little EDC here based on what I'm gathering so far. There are my G10 scales. Here is the blade itself, which comes nicely wrapped. It even has a protection on the edge itself. It says caution, sharp edge. We're gonna put that there for now. Take out this plastic. And then we have, this is also another pretty neat thing that they do, is they include all the hardware, even down to the oil and everything on here with the package, which is pretty neat. Let me take all that out. That's everything in the box. We got our instructions right here. We're going to come back to these in just a moment. And let's see, got a Ziploc little baggie here. It is nice and oily because I think some of that oil escaped the bottle. So we'll set that there for now. Yeah, that happens sometimes when they put a bottle with oil, knife oil of some sort. The oil may escape a little bit, so it's nice if those come sealed. So here we have a wiping cloth. We have two screwdrivers here. We got a T8 and a T6. And again, these are all just a bit oily. So I'm going to give them a nice quick little wipe right here. All right, again, I think there might have been a small incident with some of that knife oil just leaking out. All right, give a nice little wipe there. There we go. And all right, what else we got? We have the liners, and we have some additional hardware as well. All right, both liners right here. We have the one of them says JIN, and that is the brand, so that's pretty neat. And it looks like it's going to be a liner lock combination. There's your D10 ball and the liner there. So all right, I think we have everything we need. We're assembling this guy from scratch. So if you're doing this, I'm just going to take a completely rookie noob approach. And I'm going to read the instructions this time. I learned from last time, if I try to do it on my own, I may need to rely on the instructions at some point. So might as well do that from the beginning. One pretty neat feature, it does have a bottle opener on one side. That's pretty nice. It has a tungsten pointed glass breaker also. and it has that D2 blade. All right, so let's see, got all the hardware ready here, and let's see. All right, I'm assuming all the parts are here, and here is, I guess I start with, there's a layout of how everything goes. Step 1, start by placing the frame inserts over the holes on the liners. Right liner number 3, as shown in the shown in this image here. Then tighten 2 liner screws. All right, so let's do that. Basically have 2 standoffs. So we get them out of here. There we go. All right, all the hardware right there in one place. I often use a little magnetic tray to make sure that stuff doesn't go flying. This time I'm gonna do it as if you didn't have one of those. And let's see how it goes. Hopefully nothing goes missing here. It seems that the oil also made its way into that locked bag. It was a Ziploc, but somehow the oil also got in there. All right, so here's all my hardware. All right, so put it right here, and I need 2 of these guys. So here's one, and here's the other one. Perfect. And I'm assuming we're using T8 on here, or is that T6? Well, these look a lot like T6, so let's see. I'm gonna get it going. Looks like that. All right. So here are my 2 standoffs. So now I just gotta tighten them up with a T6 right there. You wanna be careful, because if you drop this guy, you're gonna have a fun time searching for it. Just gonna go ahead and do one at a time. That might be the best approach. And yes, we're doing it on the liner side, right? Let's make sure, starting with the liner side. And I said this on the last video too. This is sort of feels like Legos, right? For adults. Because you are sort of like building, you don't just get a chance to, get a knife. Obviously you buy a knife, but you're also part of the building process. And you get all the, the fun of putting it together yourself. Just like lining up a screw in a screw hole and making sure it doesn't go flying on you, or making sure it stays in place. And by the way, I'm not using any of my own screwdrivers or anything. I'm using the included ones. Just want to be fair to you guys, right? In case you're wanting to put this together yourself and you don't, you want to use what's included in the box. All right, 1 screw in. Doesn't have to be super tight. Just give it a nice little torque. That should be good. And let's do the other one. Here we go. All right, it's just like in the picture. Yes. So the other one should go like this. All right, just like that, we have step 1 done. There's one more part to step 1, and that is to now add the back spacer here. There we go. So it should go like this. Bam, just like that. That's pretty neat. And that concludes step 1. And now we're all done. Just kidding. Step 2 picks up on the other side. Or they do say here to, I guess, oil the detent. So we'll be doing that in a second. In order to assemble the right scale, we need to... All right, so on this step, I'm going to go ahead and add my captive pivot, which is here somewhere. I just saw it. Where'd it go? There it is. All right, there's my captive pivot. All right, it's D-shaped, so it's gonna go in that hole right there. Boom, just like that. And then I'm gonna grab my scales for this side. All right, notice that they're not gonna line up. So this one is the opposite side. I'm also using this little cutout section here to line them up. If I turn this one around, I realized, yes, it was the first one the whole time. There we go. All right, so that takes care of the captive pivot. Also hides the pivot screw on the other side. That's pretty neat. And then it looks like it looks like I'm gonna need 2 body screws here. So those are number 11. I think those are the ones with the little cone shape towards the top. There we go. I think these are a little bit easier to slide in. All right, nice and tight in there. All right, nothing too crazy. Again, these number 11s are a little bit cone shaped at the top. And then slide them in there. And bada bing, bada boom. All right, just want to make sure it went all the way in. Give it a nice little torque, and bam. All right, next thing, we're gonna do it looks like we'll do the ball bearing. Well, it looks like the ball bearing is going to be facing this way. So ball bearing first, then this washer right here. Before I put the washer, I actually have to oil. I have to do a little bit of oil. And this is why the oil escapes here. There's no seal. So that is just maybe a tiny bit of feedback right there. If they can make it so that this is sealed, it would definitely help with the unboxing experience. But this is a tad bit right there on the pivot, also on the detent. And maybe I did a little too much. All right, wipe any excess off. All right, now goes the washer. All right, that washer goes in there like that. Boom. And that's pretty much it. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and put this back spacer back in. And we're making progress, you guys. So step 3, what are we doing in this step? We are, all right, so it's quite a bit going on this one. We're gonna go ahead and grab the blade. So what I like to do, what I like to do is I like to keep this shield on here for now, right? Notice if I remove it, that is the sharp edge. And that is sharp, I can tell you that. It is a D2 steel blade. So we're gonna test the sharpness on that in just a moment. But for now, I'm gonna go ahead and, okay, there's one thing I'm missing from the previous step, and that is the stop pin. I forgot to put the stop pin when I was building the last one, and the knife was sort of bending in an awkward position, which is kind of funny. So there we go. That stop pin is what's going to hold it in place, or it doesn't bend backwards. And then it should be able to also fold in just like that. Bam. Okay. So the next thing is another washer. There we go. Washer in there. Boom. And then another ball bearing here. Right, gotta have a ball bearing on each side, but I'm gonna think if I keep it open like this, yeah, that's a little bit better and easier. Another drop of oil here. And that's some lubrication. Bam. Okay. All right, the last step is the liner on the other side, which is gonna look something like this. All right, it's gonna line up with the 2 back spacers here, or standoffs, and also the pivot itself, and the stop pin also. Should look something like that. Boom, yeah, you get a nice little click when everything falls in place. All right, so here we have to do T6. Now I wanna be careful because I don't want that T6 to land inside of the handle. So let's see. And, you know, patience is a virtue. So this is part of the relaxing experience of building your own knife, right? You're chasing down screws and stuff like that. Just take it in, right? It's supposed to take you a minute. It's supposed to give you somewhat of a challenge, right? That's part of the building experience. All right, so, all right, that one is nice and tightened right there. I got one more. All right, I'm gonna use my fingernail to sort of hold it in place. Here's the other one. All right, can't really tighten these too much. So whenever basically you reach the end, then that is that. And of course, the last thing to do, all right, let's see, do we put the pivot before? Yeah, we actually do. We put the pivot here before. It's not that one, it's this one. Okay, the pivot screw goes in before the scale, because it's pretty neat how the scale actually covers the pivot screw. I thought that was pretty neat. So, all right, so this is what we got so far. We put in the 2 screws back here, right, for the standoff / back spacer. But the pivot screw right there, I'm gonna test the action a little bit here. Again, it is a liner lock. I think there we go. And this is sort of like a flipper tab here. I'm gonna have to tune it a little bit in just a moment. I know it has a detent. All right, we'll calibrate it a little bit more. just a second. So the next thing is, I guess, the scale itself. So overall, when it's folded, it sort of looks pretty neat, right? Small oval shaped knife. And this is the blade, right? That's what that looks like. So let's just go ahead and put the finishing touches on here. And the lockup is solid, right? No side to side, no up and down. So let me do, yeah, just the last 2 screws on here. We'll see what's next. All right, so they said keep the blade on the slightly open position. So that might be key. Might be overlooking some sort of instructions here. Checking the alignment. And by the way, these T6 are a little bit finicky. I don't want to strip any of them. I'm not sure if that was intentional or not. Did I tighten it too much? Could that be it? Maybe if I loosen it up a tad bit. There it is. All right, that's what that was. I had it too tight. There's the action. Right, I want to make sure if I had to do something, I did it here before putting that scale on, because I knew the moment I put the scale on, it actually covers the pivot screw. So it looks like the action is good to go now. There we go. And then, okay, now we can go ahead and move on to the last step. So let's wrap that up really quick. And are these the cone-shaped ones? Let's just go ahead and flip here to the next step. There we go. So yes, those are the cone-shaped ones. Again, these are T6. So let's go ahead and tighten them up really quick. And just before I went crazy looking for it. There we go. So yeah, you do get the exact hardware. So make sure no hardware goes missing on you, because there are no spares, that's for sure. All right, look at that, guys. Starting to come together here. And I know it's supposed to resemble sort of like an insect of some sort, which is nice. These are sort of the antennas, right, of the insect right there. And then now that it's coming together, it looks starting to look really good, right? This is the bottle opening section there. And then let's try that. Oh, yes, opening that blade. All right, it's a little bit on the tall side of things, but you can forward choke right here. And it's a nice little blade right there, right? For your younglings, if they are getting into knives, if you're educating them about, you know, EDC and knives and things like that. And maybe your teenagers just ready to have their first knife or something like that. That was sort of the idea here, right? Now that the parent can sort of co-build a knife with, you know, with their kid. So this one came in a pack of 2. So I'm building one. Let's say if you're the parent, you're building one, your kid is building the other one, right? Can make a fun experience. So of course, you know, all the other educating about sharp objects and being careful and all that. I feel like all of that comes first before you even get to this chapter, but that's a given, right? That's what that's saying. But very interesting. What else are we missing here? Because I know we got this piece. I wonder where that goes. So assemble the pocket clip. Okay, that's true. That's true. We didn't have a pocket clip, and that does work as the pocket clip. Okay, check that out. Now, this is my show side. By the way, the pocket clip is not reversible, so it would only go on the one side. And there's even a cutout for it as well. That kind of works as a guide. And finishing this off should be fairly simple. T6 on these screws. All right, just be patient again. Don't rush the process. Don't take it easy, one step at a time. That's definitely what I would do. There we go. All right, it is deep pocket carry, so that's good. Deep pocket carry clip. Yeah, the T6 hardware, I mean, if it could be T8, that would be even better, because the T6 screwdriver, it kind of sort of wants to strip a little bit. I've noticed that. Well, there's your pocket clip, right? Looks like it will go in and out of the pocket pretty good. And there's deep pocket carry. Now, what about this last thing? Oh, okay. That is the glass breaker, which you can actually screw in by hand. So there's that. I think I probably would have done that at some earlier stage, but you can do it at the very end if you wanted to, just like I did. There's also a lanyard hole here if you want to attach it to a key ring or you know, a lanyard, whatever the case may be. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Here is the Chubbee from JIN Knives. All right, check it out there in its full glory. Tiny, small, little compact EDC, right? Kind of folds in what I guess some people will call a cute way, because, you know, kind of gives you a little insect, looks like a bee, right? Got the bee antennas, got the wings here. That's what this sort of resembles there. All right, give you a nice up close. I have to check my alignment a little bit. It is a little bit skewed to the left, but functionality wise, I mean, flipper deployment is your only deployment option, and it deploys pretty good. So I'm sure, you know, assembling this other one will be pretty much the same. I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm curious to check out the colors, right? I'm sure the step-by-step process, right, it's gonna be the same, obviously. But just to make sure I don't leave you guys up in the air. There we go. All right, this is cool, right? So this is the parent knife. That's what I'm talking about. So this is the parent knife, and then your little one gets to build their own one. That's this version. I get it now. All right, there it is. There's the whole bee aesthetic. And guess what? The blade is plastic. All right, that's pretty cool. All right, it's not sharp at all. Definitely not sharp. It is plastic. G10, as a matter of fact, to be exact. G10 blade. And the G10 handles resemble a bee. All right, that's pretty neat. All right, it's all coming together right now. That is pretty sweet. Check that out, you guys. So yeah, and of course, you know, you get the same instructions, same hardware and everything like that. I wonder if the oil escaped on this one. Yeah, it looks like there's oil on this one just as well. So I think you guys get the idea. The build process for this one will be just the exact same as what we just did here, except obviously this one doesn't have a live edge. It's just a G10 piece that looks like the blade, okay? And it's just a fun activity, right? Again, the adult builds the live edge version of the bee, and then you can have your, you know, up-and-coming child or teenager, right, who you're looking to educate about knives, build their own, and then they can, you know, EDC or carry their G10 version of the knife right there. Then again, it resembles the bee. Again, we've seen a lot of other. I was telling JIN when they reached out, there's many other companies like the Reich Cicada and the Bestech Cricket, which again are using this idea of an insect-related knife. And this one looks pretty cool, right? Of course, I will go for the non-bee looking one, right? I feel like once you go yellow with black stripes and, you know, sort of like that googly eyes that they went with right there, those are pretty interesting, to say the least. But man, that's a fun, awesome experience you can have with your child, with your kids, especially if you feel like they are ready to take that next step. Of course, you know, obviously a lot of you know, educating and advising about sharp tools and knives as a whole has to come before they're ready to take this step. But you know, if you know that they're ready for it, then you can take the next step, and you know, they can build their own knife, still be safe. It's G10, right? It doesn't cut. So, and eventually later on, once they graduate, they're responsible with that one. You can maybe give them the live edge one, right? So this is like maybe an inch cutting path. I think the only other thing that we have left to do here is let's go ahead and do a cutting test. Now you guys are probably wondering, how sharp is this thing, right? It is D2 steel, right? And this thing, by the way, is very affordable. So that's a gift idea, right? For someone who, again, may not be into knives or may just barely be getting into knives, right? Very, very cool, especially if they have a youngling that they're looking to get into knives or educate about knives. Flat grind going on here, satin finish. And let's see what this edge can do. All right, well, you'll be surprised to know that it can slice. It can certainly cut. Check that out in action. Oh yes, absolutely. So that's gonna cut really good. There I say it, right? A very cool letter opener right there. Package opener. I mean, a lot of times you don't need much more than that to open up a package, Amazon box, whatever it is you need to cut through. Piece of string, piece of rope. All right, so we know I can cut paper all day, every day. What about some everyday cardboard? I have just a thing right here. single wall cardboard Amazon box. Remember, when cutting cardboard, don't cut perpendicular, but rather at an angle like that. And with that forward choke grip, I'm gonna go ahead and check that out. The little B in action. What? That's pretty neat. All right, definitely got caught right there a little bit. It's probably going to be the knife that you're going to end up, you know, cutting all your cardboard boxes with. Probably not, right? The small geometry, right? You could probably get a longer cutting edge knife for that. But if you needed to do it in a pinch, it will do it. Definitely has the capability to do it. That flat grind is going to be very, very slicey, and it will cut. You'll be surprised. It will cut. Let's do one last one right about here. There we go. It does taper off a little bit because, again, you're not really working with a ton of cutting length, but it definitely cuts really well. You guys, let me know in the comments, how sharp is this guy on a scale from 1 through 10? Of course, 10 being the sharpest. Hey guys, wanted to give you a quick update here. This is me from the future. So after I ended up recording the original video, I went downstairs and I handed the other build kit to my wife. And I'm like, here you go, honey, have some fun. And she, managed to follow the instructions to the T, step by step. And this is, ladies and gentlemen, what the other version looks like. So this is the G10B scales version. The blade on this one, of course, is on G10 as well. So there's a few things that I wanted to point out, make sure you guys were aware. We'll do a little bit of a side-by-side comparison, of course, right? There's the Life Blade D2. This is the, you know, comparison version here. A couple of things you notice is the tip is not pokey at all. It's nice and rounded. Also, of course, not sharp in any way, shape, or form. This is G10, so this one's also very lightweight. A couple of things to notice here based on what JIN shared with me, right? The manufacturer here, the brand. They did put a ceramic ball bearing on this one, right, for better action. Ceramic ball bearing D10, right? That's what I meant to say. So that's good, right? For this one, there is a stainless steel ball as a D10 on the G10 version, right? So there you go. I mean, both have the ball bearings, of course. And then as far as D10 goes, again, steel D10 here, ceramic D10 on this other one. The other thing to keep in mind too is the backspacer is stainless steel on the, you know, Life Blade version. So that gives you the extra strength to use the bottle opening feature, right, that you have back here. On the other one, it's on G10. So they didn't want me to make sure I share with you guys. If you try to use this as a bottle opener, it will break. So don't use the, again, this is more of a non-Life Edge version for, you know, your little one or whoever it is you're sharing or building this with. So yeah, definitely something to keep in mind there. This little tip here will break if you try to use it as a bottle opener. So only use the stainless steel one for that. I did also notice they did the lanyard hole not on the bottle opener section, but rather on the little pokey section for a glass breaker, right? Now, here is G10. You're definitely not going to be breaking any glass with the G10 little, you know, glass breaker imitation either, right? I mean, you got to give them credit, right? They're basically trying to resemble the same model, but there are going to be some limitations. Again, if that backspacer is G10, right, you lose the glass breaking capability and also the bottle opening capability. Now, if you bought this kit just for yourself, you could also swap the B scales into, you know, the Life version of the blade, right? You could rock that, you know, as a fully B build, if you would. But yeah, just a couple of things to know right there. Of course, you know, measurement wise and everything, they are the same. I did notice the weight on the blade for the G10 is not necessarily that heavy, so you know, it does take a little bit to, you can't open it in one motion as you can with the Life Blade. But there you go, guys. You know, a little bit of an update. I want to make sure you guys also got a chance to see what the G10 version fully built looks like. Well, there you have it, guys. That is the, well, I keep wanting to call it the B, but it's not the B. It's the Chubbee, right? It's a specific type of B. It is the Chubbee with double B right there. So this guy, once you put it together, again, it comes with the two versions, the Life version and the G10 blade version, right? So you guys saw the process, right? If that is intriguing to you, if that is something that you see yourself doing with your own family member, or you know someone that will definitely take advantage of building their own knife with someone they know, or even if they're up and coming teenager or child, you know, is ready to build their own EDC, then definitely share this video with them. Definitely makes for a great gift idea, if I don't say so myself. You know, comes with instructions, comes with everything that you need. You just saw me put it together in this video from beginning to end. And I think the idea is super interesting, right? The fact that JIN allows for, you know, you to be able to have this whole experience. Again, I think adult Legos is probably the best way to describe it when it comes to, you know, building something like this. A lot of knives that we buy come already pre-built. You don't get a chance to sort of experiment a little bit, test out your patience, you know, chasing down a screw or something like that along the way. This one you get to build yourself, so you know you take a little bit of pride into it because you built it, right, with your bare hands. So all the tools are included, right, even down to the knife oil and everything else in between, instructions and all that. They also make full-size knife versions that you can put together, by the way. So check out these two models right here. I actually built these here in the channel as well. I'll leave a video card here at the end so you can check them out. Full-size knife, great for EDC, and I built these myself as well. Same concept, right? Actual EDC knife, longer cutting edge, also from JIN. So definitely one to check out as well if you're interested in this whole idea of sort of building, sort of putting together, assembling your own knife right there. Then definitely check that out, guys. Again, shout out to JIN, Build Your Own Knife, for sending this out for me to share with you guys. This all these knives are going to be linked down below, so if you're interested in picking them up, there is a link in the description, also in the pinned comments, for you to check out. If you got value out of this video, smashing that like button definitely goes a long way. Also, go ahead and subscribe if you like seeing knife and EDC content like this on a daily basis. I promise you it'll be worth coming back for more. And you can support the channel on Patreon or right here on YouTube by becoming a channel member. You'll get access to exclusive perks. I'll go ahead and leave two cards on your screen right there so you can check them out next. One of them right here on the left being the how to build your own knife for these other knife models right here. And this other one on the right is what YouTube recommends you probably like to watch next. That being said, guys, thank you for hanging out with me until the end. Love and appreciate all of you. Take care, guys. Hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll catch you on the next video, either this one or this one. Peace.